Hello and welcome back to another Elementor tutorial. Today I thought it would be quite a nice idea to create or do a tutorial on how to create pricing tables. And when I say pricing tables, well, the ones that you can see right in front of you. Whenever I create a tutorial, I usually have Elementor Pro installed, but I thought it would be quite nice to do something for the free users, or people who are still learning the ropes. And I think by designing a pricing table as simple as this one here, you can actually learn a lot of the fundamentals of Elementor, especially with the latest update, which is the copy and pasting features, and and it'll teach you a little bit about box shadows, and this will be the end result, what you can see right in front of you. Now, just quickly going over it, you can see that we've got a little bit of a header, you've got some text, you've got a divider, then you've got an icon list, and then we're playing around with some margins over here, then you've got the button, and if we look closely you can see a box shadow. Again, we're playing around with some margins here, and if you look really close you can even see a border. And if we let me move my camera out of the way, and if you go onto the responsive mode and head over to tablet, you can see that it splits into 4 columns or 2 sections. And if you go into mobile, again you can see that the text is then center aligned, and you've got fully responsive, mobile friendly pricing boxes. If you don't want to learn how to do it, well, that's fine. I'll download this template for you if you want it, and I'll put it in the description below. So you know what, let's get into it. So let's head over to desktop. So once you're in your Elementor section, what I'm going to do just before I start, let's just move this all the way to the right, and I'm just going to create a little bit of a gap here, so this you can't see that well. So why did I just pick the divider? Oh, sorry about this, still getting used to the actual functionality myself. The whole interface has been changed. What do I think of it at the moment? I'm not 100% sure, but I think I can see myself growing to like it. Okay, so we've got the gap there, so let's create a new section. So add new section, and in this section, like you can see, we are going to add another column into this. So column, and in this column we're going to make it 4 columns. So add new column, add new column. Each column background is going to be white. So if we click on the column background, style, background type, color, and then change that to white. Now because we're already on a white background, we're not going to be able to see anything, but you know what, let's change the section background. So let's head over to this to see what color this section is here. So right click on the background, edit section, style, color, and I'm going to copy this, and again I'll leave this in the description for you. I'm going to head over to this section, right click on the empty space in the section and edit section like so. Style, background type, color, and then paste that in. So you can't see a white background on this column here purely because there's nothing in it yet. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add a heading into it. So heading, put that in like so, and now you can see the white background. I'm going to change the font to Open Sans, and I'm going to change the weight to about 800. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm going to change the typography size, and we're going to do, let's try 20 pixels. I think that's a little small. Let's change it to 30. Okay, and now let's change the title to Lambda. And now you can see that I want to make this all capitalized, and I can just turn the caps lock on my keyboard, but I thought it would be a nice idea to show you how to change the capitalization of text even if you've not manually done it. So let's click on style and then typography, and where it says transform, you've got a choice of different options. You've got uppercase, which changes all the letters to uppercase, lowercase, which changes them all to lowercase, capitalize. So if you had a full sentence, that will change the first letter of every word to a capital letter. And then you've got normal, which is what you've already put in. So I want to do uppercase. So we've got uppercase here. And I'm going to change the background color, not the background color, sorry, the text color to this shade here. And you know what? I'm happy with that. So the next thing I want to do, I want to add some, I want to add a little bit of text just below it. Text, and we'll keep that. We'll keep the default text in and change the text color to black and the typography to open sans. I'm going to make it condensed like so. I want to make it a little bit bigger, so let's change to about 17. Let's change it to about 18 pixels, and yeah, so let's go back into the content, and I'm just going to change this bit into bold like so. And I'm not happy with this spacing right here, so if we click on the column, go to widget space here, and let's just change that to 0. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't like the line height here, so if we click back onto this text, go to style, typography, and then line height, I'm just going to make it about 1.3. That's looking good. Now let's see what else there is to do. So we can see there's a divider here. So let's add the divider. So type in divider, and we'll throw this in like so. Let's make the weight about 5. Yeah, 5 is good. And yeah, you know what? Let's keep the space. Oh, okay. Let's bring the spacing up. So click on it, advanced, get rid of the link values together just by clicking it, and then let's go into minus on your keyboard. If you click the down arrow, it brings it up or down, and there we go. Now let's add in a icon list. Icon, and then you can see the icon list here. Now, a lot of people have icons in. A lot of people actually like keeping the little icons on these things. I don't. I'm very simplistic in most things that I do, because I don't like I feel animation and general icons can sometimes confuse users. So I'll only ever use them if there's an absolute must. Sometimes it depends on the direction of the website and what you want to accomplish. With this, I just want something really clean, really simple, and yeah, so that's why I'm getting rid of the icons. So if we click on list item 1 and delete that check mark, just like so, let's type in these values. So you got up to 1 pages. We're going to duplicate. We're going to then type in SEO friendly. We're going to duplicate, type in Google Analytics. We're going to duplicate. We're going to type in social media integration. Then we're going to duplicate. Hosting. Ongoing maintenance. Security, and final one domain emails, just like so. And now if we go back down, you can see we've got that list right there. So now I'm going to go into style, text color, and I'm going to change it to a shade of black. The typography, I'm going to change that to open sans, and I want to change the weight to about 300. Okay, so that's now also looking good. The next bit is this little section right here. So we've got to play with some margins, for this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this and then right click and then duplicate. Pull this all the way down. I'm going to advanced, and I want to move this a little bit away from the icon there. So I'm going to do about 50 pixels. That's looking good. Now we're going to change the text to starting at, and let's get rid of that bold. That's looking good. I want to make it a little bit smaller. So we're going to style, typography again. Let's change that to about, that's looking good. Now we want the, the price. So let's duplicate this again. Let's click on the edit icon, style. Let's make this bigger. So let's say about 30 pixels. Let's change the family to Open Sans, the weight to about 800, and of course the text to, let's just say $29.99, and then let's do per month. Now, one of the things when you're building a site is you may want to manipulate some things, and then there's some things that Elementor isn't that flexible on. And one of them is this bit here. So you can see it's all in bold and it's all the same size, but I want this /monthly bit to be smaller and not to be bold. So the best way to do that is knowing a little bit of HTML and CSS, and it's literally one line of code, and I'm going to show you what it is, and I'll include it in the description for you. It's nothing to panic about, so you're going to see how it's done now. So in this section right here, I'm going to place my cursor right before the /, and I'm going to do the following code. So span, and then I'm going to close the span tag, just like so. Then next to the first span tag, you want to go into and space style equals font dash size, and then space and then semicolon. Okay, so right here, whatever number with pixels we put in, it's going to change the side of the /month. So I'm going to put in 18 pixels, and you can see that it's now changed the size of that monthly. So let's try 16 pixels. So realistically, if you can just put in that code there, all you need to do is change that number, and that number will be changed to anything you want. So I'm actually going to make this 18 pixels. And if we look on the visual side of it, nothing's changed. Okay. Right, so that's been done. Let's change this to about 400. Let's change the weight size of it to about 500. Okay, we'll just go with 500. We're going to make it bigger, so let's go with 40 pixels. And I want to put the letter spacing a little bit into a negative, like so. So -2.3, that's looking good. And if we head over to content and we highlight the $29.99 a month bit and just put bold on that, and there you go. So you can see you've got a nice looking thing. You can see there's still a gap there, but we're going to sort that out in a minute. So the next step, we want this here. All we got to do is click on this and duplicate, pull it under the $29.99 and change the text to plus £95 sign up. Sign up B. There we go. So let's play with this margin now. So I'm going to click on the pricing, go into advanced, and for the margin, I'm going to make that 0. Now on my keyboard with the down arrow, I'm going to put it into minus, and you can see that this is now going up like so. There you go. That's looking good. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this sign up fee here. So edit, advanced, and I'm going to change this to 0, and then the down arrow key button on my keyboard, and we'll bring that all the way up, just like so. And I'm going to make this text a little bit bigger. So, yeah, about 18, that will do. I'll change this to style 18. Okay, so let's just update that. And now let's see what it's looking like here. So you can see it's looking good. Now the next thing, we want to add this here. So let's go back here, and we can just duplicate this, take away the margin, and replace the text, and bold the other, and yeah. Oh, we can make this smaller, and we're going to change the font family to Open Sans. Let's change this to about 14 good, 14, brilliant. And yeah, that's looking good. Now I'm going to add the button in, so let's head over to our widgets and type in button. Let's pull this in like so. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the color from the header, and I'm going to pull it onto this button here. Go into style, background color, and paste that background in. Typography, change this to Open Sans. Change the size to maybe about 16, yep. And let's see the font. Okay, let's change the weight to about 600. Transform it to uppercase. And let's add some custom padding into this. So I'm just going to give the default 20 pixels, and then I'm going to unlink the values here so I can change the right and left without the top and bottom being changed. So I'm going to change the right to 50 pixels, and I'll change the left to 50 pixels. I mean, I've just realized that doesn't actually make a difference now, because I'm just going to justify it so it'll fully stretch out like so. But it's always handy to know that little padding. Let's change the text to get started. And yeah, that's looking good. I just don't like the border, so let's go back into style, and where it says link values together on border radius, just click that, and that's now removed that slight radius around the board, around the button. Let's add some more spacing into this box here. So if we click on the column section, we're going to advanced, and where it says padding, let's change this to, let's try 10 pixels. Nope, let's try 20 pixels. Yeah, that's better. So 20 pixels is the one we want. Now let's add a border, let's add a box shadow and a border to it. So let's start off with the border. So let's click on style, border, and border type, solid. Let's change the color to hashtag EEE. Okay, that gives it a really light border, which just it doesn't look too dominant on the eye. It's just one of those subtle little effects. And let's change the width to about 1 pixel. Let's head over to box shadow, which is here, and it's a bit too harsh, the shadow, so click on color, and let's change the opacity down to about, oh yeah, that looks okay, about 0.12. Okay. Now the next thing, a cool little trick, one of the things I really like about the new Elementor update, is the copy and paste feature. So I'm going to right click on the column, right click, yeah, copy, head over here, and paste style. And it didn't work. Why is it not working? Paste. Okay. The style only applies to the actual information in the box. If there's nothing there, it's got nothing to apply the style to. And I'm going to give you more examples of this shortly. Let's just paste all of this in. Let's delete these columns here. Because now we're going to be looking at the responsive side of it. So already we can see that we don't like these. We don't like the. There's no gap in between. So let's click on the column and let's add a margin there. So unlinked values and right, let's do 5 pixel, and left, let's do 5 pixel. Remember that it may not look much now, but once you apply it onto this side as well, that's going to be a total of 10 pixels on each side. So it will look a lot better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly add it onto this side as well, and you'll see why I'm not adding it onto the rest in a minute. Okay, so I'm happy with this. I think it's looking really, really good. Next step, I want to see what it looks like on a tablet. So if you head over to your widget bar, and at the bottom you can see responsive mode, and then if you click on tablet, you can see that it's trying to fit all the columns into that one small space, and it's just making it look a little squished. So what I'm going to do, we're going to change the column width. So if you click on the edit column button and then head over here and type in 50%, and then click on the next one, type in 50, click on the next one and type in 50, and the next one and type in 50. Another thing that you can see is actually there's no space between the boxes once they're above each other. So a quick fix is click on one of the columns, edit column, go to advanced, and we're just going to keep everything as 5 and just add 5 pixels like so, and then bang, it's done what it's done, which is perfect. Let's go to mobile, and for mobile, we're going to center align everything, like you can see here, like you can see on this one here. So let's text align, center, text align, style, center. This is only changing the text to the center on a mobile device, so you don't need to worry about anything else. I want to make this text a little bigger, so if we go to typography and just click it up until you got a size that you like so. Let's click on the icon list, style, and then center. Same with the starting at, style, center, then the price, style, center, text, and style, center, like so. So now you've got all of this center aligned, and let's just update it just for good practice. Head over to responsive mode, desktop again, and now what we're going to do, we're going to right click on the column, the one that we've made all the adjustments to, and then we're going to paste it onto all of these. So click on the edit column, right click, and copy. Click on this column, right click, paste style, and something's happened. And then do the same here, paste style, and you can see now that I've applied it onto this, you've also got the margins there, and do the exact same on this one. And if we head over to tablet, we can see that the 50% has been applied. We can go into mobile, and the weird thing is that the text align hasn't been applied. So I think that's just a glitch at this point with Elementor. It'll probably be something that will be rectified in the future, but yeah. So, but if all the style was applied, then this should have been centralized because it's done everything else. So that's how you can create a really nice pricing table. And you know what? Let's just change this color to green. Let's change this background to the same. Okay, and update. Let's head over to the front side. refresh, and there you've got it. You've got some really nice you've got some nice pricing tables which you've learned how to do from scratch. It wasn't too complicated. It just involves choosing the right fonts, make everything nice and even, and playing around with the margins. And yeah, you've got something really nice there. If this video has given you any value whatsoever, please make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. If you want to know how to do something else, leave a comment and I will make sure I'll create a video on that. I do talk back on my videos, and yeah, thanks for watching, and good luck.